last day of the week, the Friday working day of the week, working last working day of the week, and I believe you have achieved all your targets and the things which you plan for this week, and now you're looking forward to the fantastic weekend, right? Awesome. So that's really good. I believe that you already achieved everything what you're looking for. Now, before you moving back to before you looking forward to the weekend, I would like to add value, okay, in your weekend, so that you can relax, you can add some prepare for something for coming week, okay. But before I go into topic today again, um, I would like to quickly introduce to the new people who are there, who first time listening to me. Hello, everyone. This is Tushar Chaudhary, your leadership coach, and I help mid-career, mid-senior project managers to grow into influential project leaders. Okay, and I will help you to come out of that performance trap, experience trap, or I would say execution trap, where you believe that the some of the belief you carry is that your performance will help you to go into the next level, your experience will help you to go to the next level. Okay, and the third very important, your execution, you delivering the things on daily basis, working really hard, working for long hours, will help you to the next level. Absolutely no. Corporate, the management wants something else. What they want is that, can you influence, can you lead the situations, okay. And this is where I help you to build your influence ecosystem, where you operate on daily basis to your leadership core, okay. And so that when you work you when you operate to that leadership core, you don't need motivation on everyday basis to find, okay. And you change your mindset, you move from that employee mindset to the entrepreneurial mindset, okay, or I would say a business leader mindset. So this is where I help you to move and transform yourself to influential leader. So that's about me. Now let's get into the today's topic. So I want to ask you, I want you to think about this particular thing. How many years of experience do you have? 10, 12, 15, 20 plus? Now let me ask you a deeper question. How many of those years actually changed you? Because many professionals don't have 15 years of experience, they have 1 year repeated 15 times, okay. I remember there is a phase in my career where I was doing everything right. I was delivering projects, I was managing the teams, I was meeting expectations, okay? But growth was slow and I was literally frustrated. I thought, what more should I do? Then one incident changed my thinking. In a in one of the project review, one of my senior leader asked me a question, Tushar, what did you learn from this project? I gave a very standard answer, timelines and coordination and execution. And he just stopped me and said, Tushar, that's what you did. I'm asking what you learned out of this project. And that question stayed with me. you know that was a moment shift for me. From that day I started doing something different. I After every major situation I started asking, what is what is this teaching me about leadership? And slowly I started seeing the patterns, I started improving the decisions, I started thinking ahead. Started going beyond the project for thinking the bigger problem the company is facing. Same experience, deeper reflection, and better opportunities. So, you know, but to do this thing, it doesn't happen over the night. Okay, first of all, let me be very clear with you. It helped me. I read some of the great books during that phase of period, and I and that helped me to shift from that mindset of employee mindset, or I would say execution mindset, to the impact mindset or outcome mindset. Okay, so the first book which I would like to recommend you to read, three books which really help you to handle this situation. The first book I would like to recommend is Make It Stick by Peter Brown, and there are two other authors, Henry and Mark. Now, this book explains that learning does not happen automatically. It happens when you reflect and apply. See, I think since childhood, some there is a stigma we have that reflection hurts. When you reflect, or when you start to go into the past and learn from your mistakes, it it is not very comfortable. It's not very um, uh, uh, I would say a pleasant experience. Okay, this is what people told to us. But you know what? Actually, my personal experience of reflection is awesome. You know, it's like you going in the past and you exploring the wisdom. The pearls. You finding the pearls out of the wisdom. I would say the pearls of wisdom. And you when you go back and when you look at that situation as a third person, you will clearly see that you could have changed the situation. You could have, when you have the third perspective to look at it, you know so that's where I always encourage people to reflect. Okay, so it happens when you reflect and apply. So that changed how I used my experience. That's the first book, number one. Second book, Seeing Around the Corners by Rita McGrath. Now, this book taught me that leaders use past signals to predict the future. Okay, so experience is not a past, it is a tool to see ahead. Okay, that's the book I would like to share with you. Now the might be there a question in your mind that, Tushar, how can we shift in the practically in the real life this type of how can we bring this mindset? So I have three practical shifts for you so that you can implement that in the day-to-day life. So the shift number one is, from I wanted to move from that mindset of only doing the works to moving to reflecting the reflecting mindset. So I want you to pause after every major event and ask yourself that, what did I learn from this? What could I have done then? What could I have done better than to make this happen? So try to extract the insights from that. Okay, that's the shift number one. Shift number two, I want you to move from memory mindset to documentation mindset. Don't keep everything here. Okay, document it. And today, documentation is your wealth. Okay, so I mean, when I started, and this is one of the habit I started for since then, I started journaling everything, whatever. At the end of the day, I start writing the journals. So this is one of my notepad. Okay, and even today also, I wrote I wrote what my experience of myself today. Small things also, like for example, when I did a one-to-one call with my mentee, how that session was, what did I learn from that session, how can I improve more. If I have any discussions with one of my team member, or how was that one, how can I make it more better. So rather than keeping it as a memory, I started documenting it, and I started writing my lessons also. So what gets written, it gets applied. Please note this down. You have to write it down. Otherwise, this is like a CPU. It's like a CPU. You keeping everything here, you will not able to recall that things effectively, because this CPU will be hacked. It's like a random access memory. It get hanged. So it's better you put that down on the paper in the notepad. Okay. The shift number, that was the shift number two. Move from memory to documentation. And the shift number three, I want you to move from the learning mindset to leveraging mindset. See, I want you to use past lessons in the new situations. That's how the experience becomes opportunity. Okay, these are the three shifts I want you to implement immediately. Now, see, your experience is not your past, it is your raw material for future. Okay, this is this that I want to close this topic today with this thought: your experience is not your past, it is your raw material for the future. Now, whatever I just shared with you, if it is connected with you, if you resonate with this, I want you to comment growth in the comment section. Okay. And if you're really ready to use your experience differently, if you're ready to shift your experience into your own transformation of your version to create your new version, I would like to invite you for a one-to-one session with me where I can help you to I will share with you some strategies to use your how to turn your experience into high income leadership career. Okay, and book a one-to-one session with me. The link in the comment section. If you go to my LinkedIn profile, book an appointment with me directly. Okay, and we will go more detail into how can we transform, how can we turn your years of experience into high income leadership career. And the good thing is, this Sunday, there is an webinar I'm conducting on project leadership mastery, and there I'm going to teach you again some of the strategies how 1% project. How can you enter into that club of 1% elite project managers, project leaders, who who leverage their experience to create impact, influence, and high income leadership career. Okay, so the link is in the comment section, and that is the end of today's session. And I'm gonna sign off now. This is your leadership coach Tushar Chaudhary from Bangalore, and I'll come back again tomorrow with one more leadership insight to help you to have that high income leadership career. Okay, until that moment, implement what we learned today and take care of yourself. God bless you.